This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
We'll tell you why Lisa's broadcasting from home today in a few minutes. Right now we're talking about friend zones and if you've ever been trapped in one.
It really does suck. It's one of the worst feelings because you almost like them more because you can't get them, you know?
Yeah, did you ever try, like, as an attractive woman, starting to drop it low in front of a friend that was, like, friend zoning you? And be like, oh, excuse me, I put on my best perfume today.
All the time.
Sparkle up the cleave.
Yeah, like I was pulling out all the stops, nothing ever. They'd never budge. And that killed me. What about you when you were friend zoned?
I had the biggest crush on a girl in high school. And
what was her name?
Camille. And she kept dating kind of on and off one of my buddies. But then they'd break up and it would be like, okay, like I give this a couple months and maybe, you know, I'm from a small town, so it's not that weird to date your friend's ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
There's only so many options, right? Like in the city, that might be weird.
But not really. St. Albert was kind of the same.
You just all share. Anyway, I was waiting for my chance to share, and it just never happened. And then the big one was New Year's Eve. I decided to DD just so I could, like, get her home safe. Maybe I could say something and start the new year fresh. I ended up giving her a ride home, and then he ran out, my buddy, and jumped in the truck as well. And then he said, I'm staying at your place tonight to her. And then they giggled and started making out for the whole drive home. So that was it. And then I went and just watched, I think, a rerun of Cheers with my mom.
Okay. There's still some trauma there for sure.
There is? You can tell?
Did you and your mom cheers at midnight?
Yeah, I think we did. I was giving her a foot rub, and I was like, this isn't what I expected.
Ew, what?
Yeah, I used to give, my mom had bad feet, so I always would give her foot rubs. That's not weird.
Yeah, no, we'll unpack that another time. Okay, so what is this viral story of the person that got friend zoned? Is it the worst case?
Yeah.
That you've ever heard of?
Yeah, it involves Valentine's Day, too. It's from a guy named Kyle online who said, bought the girl I've had feelings forever for a small Valentine's Day gift. And I had it in my car for when she got in. She told me to come in and hang out while she finished getting ready, but then proceeded to spend the next 20 minutes telling me how she got hard action the other night. And then he said, for reference, she said this all before she saw the gift I got her, which makes it that much more awkward on my end. And then he said, to clarify, the gift was just sitting in the passenger seat of my car for when she got in. There was nothing I could do to hide it from her in time. And she is not a significant other, just a close friend I've suppressed feelings for forever. He said he's never going to rebound from this. He's moving. I feel actually like this story's gone viral, but I feel like my story's worse. Lisa broadcasting from home as your dog decided to celebrate February 15th and the best day of year to buy cheap chocolates by eating 2 full chocolate bars.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody gets excited about February 15th because chocolate is 50% off. So Stanley just went to town being like, this is the best deal ever. I'm not going to eat 1. I'm going to eat 2. And you know what? I think I'm going to go all out and go for the dark chocolate.
Which is even worse for dogs.
It's riskier. So Stanley likes to live on the edge. If you own a lab, you know what it's like. They will eat anything. Mm-hmm. You think that their stomach is made of steel. It wasn't a good day. It's still not good. So we're monitoring him very closely. I'm working from home. He puked throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
He did go to the vet yesterday, and we induced vomiting, which a lot of people ask me how you can do that. It's with hydrogen peroxide. You mix it with water and you get them to ingest it. And within like 5-10 minutes, they'll barf. And it looked like a chocolate milkshake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's we ended up being a little reckless because of renovations. So we had a box that we had forgotten about with, which happened to have 2 Lind chocolate bars in it, which no longer
the best kind
exist. Yeah, those are expensive too. They're like $4.25 each, something like that.
Yeah. Do you know which ones we're talking about? They're in the white package. You can usually get like deals like 3 bars for X amount of money, and they're the sea salt dark chocolate. So there were actually 3 chocolate bars on the ground in a grocery bag. Luckily, he didn't find the 3rd one because it was hidden underneath some cans of soup.
Yeah.
I think it could have been fatal if he had all
Isn't
three.
that wild? Like, it's just so surprising to me that dogs can eat anything. Like, they have guts of steel.
But they have one grape and it can kill them.
Yeah, grapes and chocolate bars, they're like, no, we're too
No.
sensitive for that.
When
It's
God
weird,
created the dog, he was like, let's make it a little bit complicated for humans.
right? Like, I've had a dog before eat a nail, and it was
What?
fine. Yeah, a dog just ate a nail.
Remember when Stanley, we couldn't figure out what was hanging out of his butthole?
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out to be like a rolled up sheet of parchment paper.
Past that, no problem. But don't
And,
give him a
like, don't-
chocolate bar.
Don't give him a chocolate. Don't let him actually indulge and enjoy himself. But like dogs will eat a thong and it goes through their digestive system, no problem. Like what is
Yeah.
up with that?
Hit us up if your dog has ever eaten anything ridiculous. We want to hear from you. We've had a lot of pet content on the show the last couple of days. Yeah, it was just yesterday we were talking about complain about your pet. Why does it annoy you? And then he goes and does this. This was maybe a rebellion act.
He probably was listening to the show yesterday on the app and he was like, this bee, I'm going to ruin her day.
I'm going to eat her chocolate because I know she loves it.
Tell
Me something.
good.
Mornings with Ryder and Lisa.
Play 107.
Every once in a while, we're lucky enough to have themes for Tell Me Something Good. Today, the theme is goats.
Yes, not the animals though, the sports
Heroes.
celebrities. Yeah. So, of course, Michael Jordan, known as a basketball Hall of Famer, just made a record-breaking $10 million donation to Make-A-Wish for his upcoming 60th birthday, which is tomorrow.
Think
That's
of how
what
many
he wanted to do.
Think of how many wishes that's going to grant.
That's amazing.
Incredible. Or like one really big one.
He says, yeah, true. So he turns 60 tomorrow, and he says he hopes his donation will inspire others to support Make-A-Wish. So there you go.
Like maybe one of the kids wants to go with Elon to space. How much does that cost?
I don't know. I feel like Elon would just, that'd be on the house.
Yeah, maybe.
But Michael Jordan's been working with Make-A-Wish for 34 years.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, really cool.
My story is about the quarterback GOAT, greatest of all time, Tom Brady, who has just adopted 2 kitties from a rescue after his daughter had a close attachment to them after meeting them. Just think of how good of a life these cats are going to have. They're having lobster for breakfast, milk hand pumped from a rare organic cow for a little
they live in a
afternoon
mansion.
snack, living in a mansion. Their house is bigger than ours. My goodness.
Okay, but also he is totally trying to pull the cool parent. He's like, I am the superior parent. Like, what has Giselle done lately?
Yeah, did you buy a couple cats and a house for them? Probably
Why
not.
not?
Then what is the strangest thing? Your dog has 8.
Lindsay and Andy both wrote in saying that their dogs love to eat earplugs, which is interesting. I guess they look like a tasty little treat. But this text from Tracy blew my mind. So she starts off the text by saying, where do I even begin? I had a white shepherd cross. He ate a t-shirt once, the entire thing. Heaped it up a week later. It was completely whole.
What?
And then she goes on to say, picture this. We run into Costco. We buy a giant pack of chicken breast. Then we stop at a gas station. We get back in our vehicle. Our dog was licking his lips. All that was left was the remaining saran wrap up top. The styrofoam, gone. 6 huge chicken breasts, gone.
He must have been weight training.
When he was a puppy, this is the worst one. We left him out of the crate. We left for an hour, returned. The entire house was covered in grit and gray dust. He got into a bag of cement and ate a good amount of it. The dog was
What?
completely fine
Just-
somehow. Didn't even have diarrhea.
Dumping out sidewalks. That's like my dog ate a box of Triscuits once and then the next day pooped out a wicker chair.
And I bet you sold it online for a lot of money. You should start a business.
I feel like there was no specific date that this was announced. It was just added to the city of Edmonton's like regulations, I guess.
Or maybe it's been on there for a while and someone randomly came across it, posted it, and now it's gone viral. Like, we don't know how long it's been up there. So on the Edmonton website, underneath swimming apparel, it says the classic things like all swim apparel must be clean and brought to the facility for the purpose of swimming. Prior to entering the pool, all patrons are required to take a cleansing shower in their swim apparel. We've all been doing this since we were kids.
Well, or pretending to.
Yeah.
Just splashing a little water on your hair and then you're good.
This last part, though, says all patrons are permitted to go topless in city-operated pools if they so wish. Since when?
The mom groups apparently are going nuts over this one. That's what Desiree said. She said, I've seen so many mom groups just flipping out over this. I think obviously Canadian society isn't ready for the free the nipple movement in local public pools, but I personally wouldn't care if someone was walking around being body positive. World needs some of that.
Yeah, it's just a boob. I don't know. I'm all for the free the nipple movement, but that's just me. What are your thoughts on this? We want to hear from you. I do think it would be shocking. Like, I have a girlfriend that she lived in Europe for a long time. And then when she came back to Edmonton, she was at her gym in the change room openly with her whole body exposed. And she said other women, it almost seemed like they were uncomfortable, like they weren't used to it.
Right.
But she said in Europe, oh my gosh, everyone is just walking around naked all the time. So she was like embracing her body a lot more after visiting Europe. Eileen commented on our post because we shared it on our Facebook page saying it's not illegal to be topless anywhere else. So it makes sense. Interesting that they put it on the website, though. Maybe people don't know that everyone is already able to do it.
Michelle has an interesting take. City of Edmonton employee just shooting his shot, putting it out there and crossing his fingers every day.
Huh. Yeah. I don't know.
Listen, I'm cool with whatever you want. Go for it. It's much better, that option, than like going topless than some of the stuff I saw at Free Swim Day.
Is this an annual thing? They just do it once a year where anyone can go to the public pool and swim for free that day.
I have no idea. I have Googled it a couple times to make sure when I'm going swimming, it's not Free Swim Day, though, because it is absolute mayhem. I saw a dude in the swimming pool in jeans. Jeans that went all, not just jean shorts. I'm cool with a good pair of jorts getting you through. This guy just wore his jeans in the pool.
This guy was just out for a random stroll, happened to pass by the pool, found out it was free pool day, and took advantage of it.
Maybe he took his kids swimming and forgot to pack himself shorts, and the kids were too excited. So he's like, I'll just go in these jeans. There was also a woman who was wearing running shoes in the hot tub. And that I could only explain as she had some serious issues with her feet, which is still super disturbing to be sharing a hot tub with somebody who's in running shoes. Just trust me on that one.
Yeah, maybe she has plantar warts.
So, like, topless, go for it.
Paula texted in, I think this topless issue had to do with a woman who was at a public pool who went topless, I want to say 7-ish years ago, and they had to add that part in. Paula then goes on to say, I'm all for it. Just don't be upset when my nursing son tries to grab a snack.
Interesting.
So maybe, yeah, if you're in the kid pool, just be aware that you might have a child being like, oh, that looks familiar.
Also, like, I know adolescent boys because I was one of them from the age of, I don't know, 12 to 29. And I feel like there's going to be some like giggles and you see that, bro, with like the kids that are in the pool for the first while. You're a bit of a groundbreaker if you're going because there's going to be some of that happens. So don't be surprised by that, I suppose, either. But it should lead to conversations with kids like, hey, this shouldn't be something that you laugh at or make somebody feel awkward for.
If people are going to be going topless, they don't care. Like, I personally cannot see myself ever doing it at this point in my life.
Just kidding. Continue. You do think that for somebody that can see themselves doing it, they're prepared mentally for some of the looks or whatever.
Yeah, they don't care. You know what? There's only one way to really see if I can handle it. I think I got to go swimming today.
Yeah, give her a go. The regulations that were recently discovered, I guess.
Yeah, apparently it's been on the Edmonton website for quite some time. People are just noticing it now, so it's gone viral.
You're allowed to go topless in Edmonton pools. This doesn't extend to other areas of the rec centers, which...
Yeah, like nobody's topless on the elliptical.
Or like at the Second Cup at the rec center.
Mary wrote in saying Edmonton actually has a huge nudist group. They rent out various swimming pools in Edmonton all the time, and they have private swim nights.
Mm-hmm.
So to go topless in a pool, it's totally fine. I think no shame.
Yeah, next Wednesday at Terwilliger Rec Center, I think, is the next meetup for us. Just kidding.
I will say, Ryder, there's a lot of comments on our Facebook page that are saying we are pro seeing Ryder topless in the pool. So keep up the great work.
Too bad. I always wear a shirt in the pool.
Do you?
Yeah, that's my thing. I sit up on the water slides and I wear a shirt in the pool.
But are they at least like cool graphic tees? I've never understood.
No, white t-shirt.
I was going to say, I've never understood the white t-shirt. Like it's not.
Oh, it hugs all the right spots.
Yeah, I was just listening to your guys' conversation about the topless thing in pools.
Yeah, what do you think?
I think, honestly, the only concern I have as a parent is what about the kids? Is there going to be an age restriction on going topless? And then there's a lot of pervs out there, right? So I don't want my kids, being around that, right?
Good point.
Right.
That's a
really good point.
It's something I never even thought about. Is like, let's say a 16-year-old wants to go topless.
That's just it, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of sickos out there, literally being put away for like next to zero sentence for the stuff that they're doing.
Mm.
And if they start doing that in the pools, if that's really what they're doing, well, then it's just going to become a hot ground for them, right?
Yeah, I appreciate the opinion.
We're seeing a lot of texts saying the same thing. Does it say anything about age? I worry about underage kids. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Super Bowl Sunday, Chiefs win it. Mahomes obviously going down as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time already.
Okay, but is he okay?
What do you mean?
That injury? He's just limping around.
Oh, yeah,
out
yeah.
there?
He looked sore as soon as the celebration started. I thought you were talking is he okay because of his voice? You were quite surprised by it.
Oh, yeah. I heard him. He was getting interviewed. It was on a late night show. And I was like, that's what he sounds like? Because you just don't think of celebrities' voices, right?
Especially the position of a quarterback is quite a masculine. You would think big, deep voice for that job, right?
Then I hear this clip of him and I'm like, who's this dweeb?
Here it is.
Yeah, no. So we started off. They actually threw a nice party for us at the hotel. The Chainsmokers came through. DJ Khaled came through. You can't beat that, man. That's every genre of music you need right there.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like the kind of guy that's gonna say I just won the Super Bowl, but more like the guy that said I got a nosebleed.
Yeah. Ow.
Voices can surprise you though. I was so thrown off. I was a big fan of Sons of Anarchy. And when I found out Jax was actually English, Jax
that's
in the
weird.
show.
When they all of a sudden have an accent.
And he committed to that American accent so much it actually caused him an issue. Check this out.
It's so embarrassing to say it's an Englishman, but I'd been working in America for so long that when I got King Arthur, I had to hire a dialect coach to help me sound English again, which was sort of an absurd situation to find myself in.
How wild is that?
I always find myself, and this is really embarrassing, as soon as I'm talking to a British person, all of a sudden I'm Peppa Pig. It's so bad. And I am like, ooh, sorry. I don't know why it came out that way.
The Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
Play 107.